Have a seat. Okay, sounds good.
All right, bro. I got my name wrong.
Turnaround 8 minutes.
It ain't easy.
Come on.
Okay.
It's not your old man's Pepperdine.
It's not. I remember last year. That was embarrassing.
Good redemption.
Absolutely. Feel good, man. Feel good, to be honest.
Yeah. Have a seat right here. Okay. All right, so we will start with a statement from Coach Schilling, and then we'll have questions for the student athletes. And then following, once the questions are done with the student athletes, we'll dismiss them and have questions for Coach. So go ahead, Coach.
Great. One, I'm just so happy for these guys. What they have endured through this year, how they've continued to work and to fight and compete and be coached all year, and to see them get the fruit of this labor. Man, I'm just so happy for them. They're the ones who, Mo set the tone defensively, Boubacar protected the basket, finished strong, and it was just a great last 10 minutes of this game. And so more than anything, I'm just really grateful that they got to experience this for all that they've gone through this year.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you explain to those of us who could never do something that we just saw how you did that and what it feels like?
It's not like I can't really explain. That's just like that feeling. I feel like I was back in high school for real. Like it's almost the last game of the season if we lose. So it's like you got to leave it all out. All 100% effort, 100% energy, just no lackadaisical on defense or offense. Even though we started out sluggish, I just kept telling my team, like, come on, like, we not going home tonight. Like, we can't go home tonight.
You had 23 points and 15 assists that led to 15 points in the last 12 minutes of the game. Are you telling us that you had a game like that in high school?
I don't want to sound cocky, but it's been games like that.
Okay. The only downside, I guess, was you got called for a tee. Can you explain to us what happened there?
I got too caught up in my emotions, which I don't really do, because that was my first technical of my career, my college career, and I've been in school for 3 years. So I really pride myself on not getting tech. So I'm really mad at myself. I got a tech.
And they gave that to you because?
I said something to the bench. They was talking to me before the game, so like I got my emotions. I just let my emotions take over, which I got to be better. I'm a junior, so that was my first tech. Like, I'm still mad at myself, right?
Boubacar, can you just talk about his ability as a passer? He's been doing it all year, and you benefited on at least one, maybe two inbounds alley-oops. What's that like?
Great. Obviously Mo is a great passer, and he's our point guard, and he can read defense pretty good, and them out of one places read the defense and throw perfect alley-oops all the time. We read off each other from ball screen and stuff like that. So I feel like throughout my college career, I've never played with a point guard like Mo before. The way he read defense and how perfect them alley-oops goes up, and then the timing's perfect. So
You guys were down 14 with about 12 minutes to go. At what point did it occur to you that you were going to win this game?
Before even the game started, Mo, he was very, very, very focused, and then he kept talking to me, he kept saying, hey, you gotta go, I don't want to go home tonight, like, we need you, we need that energy. And after that second half, he came back to me and said, hey, what are we doing wrong? Like, you're too quiet, like, talk to me, like, what's going on? I'm like, hey, I'm up. I'm gonna start. Like, I'm up right now. So it's my energy, with him, his energy kind of like fit up from that, and then went up from there. Like, I knew we were gonna win the game because Mo he was focused. He wasn't shut down. He's a leader. He's a captain. He's our point guard. I felt like just him staying on it and like motivating guys kind of like led us, to win.
Mo, it's not like you guys haven't been in this situation before, down big in the second half. Was there some tip off though that maybe you could pull this off?
Yeah, I feel like once I picked up the defensive intensity, once that happened, everybody fed off of me, and then from there we took off. We hit some big shots. Danilo hit some big shots. He got some good dunks. Steph hit some shots. I hit some shots. Everybody just started clicking at the right time when we needed.
Their starters played heavy minutes tonight. Could you tell down the stretch that maybe they were running on fumes a little bit?
Yeah, I felt it when I started to pressure the ball a little bit up past like a little bit behind 94 feet. Like I felt that they was trying to walk the ball up, trying to waste time. And I feel like if you don't pressure, like they could do whatever they want. So I just picking up 94 feet was just making them tired, getting their offense sluggish. Their offense start to get sluggish. They start taking the shots they don't want to take, and that just all happened on defense.
This one for you, Mo. Sam Canales, Santa Clara Student Radio. This is going to be a little bit more forward-looking, but I'm from New York, too. I haven't seen a game like that since I was at home. That was really cool.
Appreciate it.
My question is, though, you're going against DeMarco Minor tomorrow, and then possibly Carlos Stewart if you guys win that game.
Yeah.
Todorovic, 6'3", Minor, and Stewart, I think, are like 6 foot and 6'1", a little smaller,
Yeah.
but a lot more athletic.
Yeah.
So curious with your crafty play style, how you might adapt to guys like that who can track you a little bit better around the court.
I've been like skinny my whole life and playing like against stocky guards, so it's really nothing. It's just I just believe in myself. Like I look skinny, but I don't play like it. You know what I'm saying? I come out there, face everybody, look somebody in the eye, let them know I'm here. So it don't really matter if they stocky, skinny, big. It don't matter.
I was going to comment on that. That was really nice as well. I saw you in the pick and roll. You used the mid-range a little bit more, especially than some of these other West Coast players.
Yeah.
Curious, there was a couple of them at the end where you were just kind of wide open around the free throw line is one of them I remember.
Yeah.
Was that something you noticed, they just weren't picking up on and they were like a little bit too okay, kind of just accepting coming back towards the basket and letting you kind of take that mid-range?
Yeah, they kind of felt like they didn't want me to drive past, and they kept playing and drop. At first they were switching, and then once we defeated the switch, they started the drop. Then they started to ice it. So coach was just telling me, read it and just play two-man with Boob, and whatever shot's the best shot for me, just take it. And then I'm in the gym every day, so if I'm open from three, if I'm open from mid-range, I believe it's going in 100%.
And then last one, they didn't double team you at all down the stretch. Were you surprised by that?
Yeah, I was surprised because usually I get double teamed at the beginning of the game.
No, okay, no, thanks.
Coach Nick Pecora, Santa Clara Student Radio. We just heard Mo and Boubacar kind of give their perspective on that turnaround down the stretch. I'm curious from your vantage point over there as the head coach, can you talk a little bit about what you saw from Portland being up 14 to sitting here right now? When did you kind of start to feel that turnaround happening? What did you see out of your guys that made it happen?
Well, it felt like when Mo really picked up the defensive intensity, it kind of they were really in a groove. They were really, and when they do that with their shooters, with the way they play, if they're in rhythm, if you don't disrupt them, man, they're really tough to beat. And so that's what Mo did. He really kind of started to disrupt them, and now they're going down the lane, and Boubacar was rotating over. He got blocked shots, and we had other guys who were stepping up. We used our length a little bit so that when they were having to try to drive Mo, we used our length and were able to get some deflections and get some blocks. But again, it all started with ball pressure. And Jackson came in and gave us some good ball pressure off the bench as well. And we kind of got a group out there that got it going. And once we started getting the momentum, we started then making shots. And when you make shots, that gives you more energy. And the two just kind of played off of each other.
Any more questions for the student athletes before we move on to coach? Okay, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Coach, you play Oregon State next. They kind of had their way with you in Corvallis. The last game was pretty tight. What did you learn from playing them twice?
Well, just one, they've got some great shooters. Rattan is great, and then the guy in the middle he just demands so much attention, and because they have such a dominant post presence, that it makes him really difficult because he's surrounded with really good shooters. And so we know that they're not only shooters, but they have shooters with size. And so, they're a terrific team. Coach Tinkle does a fabulous job and has been doing a great job for decades. And when I was assistant at UCLA, he was always a handful. He really uses his talent well and puts them in great positions. And they're an excellent basketball team. Obviously, a Pac-12 team. They're a high major team, and we know we've got our hands full, but we're just grateful we get a chance to play again.
So when it's 54-40, obviously, like I asked Mo there, you've been in this spot before this year. What did you see anything that would tip you off that would go, hey, this is going to be our night?
Well, one of the things that when we started making shots, Danilo hits a three, and then then he finally makes one because he missed so many good ones early. He had been sick, didn't play in our last game. So when he made it, it kind of infused him. And then he makes another one, and then they had Mo and Bubakar doing their thing. And so when a couple of those shots started going down, and then our defense, we got some back-to-back stops. That's when the momentum started to turn, and just really grateful for that. I think Masic hit one deep three, but other than that, we really made things difficult for them. And again, it started with the ball pressure and trying to got them out of their groove a little bit.
You hit 16 out of your last 18 shots. Do you even see that in practice?
No, we don't. I mean, Steph's a great shooter. We got some good shooters, but we just really got going. And I think, like I said, we had some good ones early and we missed. And so once we saw the ball start going in, fortunately it just kept going. And more than anything, just grateful for these guys. I mean, if you all the different things that we've gone through as a city of Malibu with the fires, with all the different things, for them to be able to continue to fight. And we've been in that situation before. And one thing about this team, they've never quit. Now, we may not have come out on top and shoot it the way we did, but they've never quit. And so they never quit. And this time shots went down, and so they were able to really feel the victory. And I'm just so happy for them.
Ed, can you talk about the confidence level Mo plays with, and just what that looked like tonight from your vantage point?
Well, he gets going, and he gets. One thing about Mo is he can be missing shots, and he's still going like that a lot of times. So he's kind of like that high octane New York City point guard. He gets going, and he starts making shots, and he gets rolling. He'll get rolling like that in practice sometimes, and. It was great to see him do that, and he's really had to log so many minutes this year, just due to a couple of the guards we had. Some really good experienced guards had injuries and didn't play at all this year, and so he's really played so many minutes. And I think being able to have a couple days off really benefited him, got his legs back, and you can see we gave him a little break in the first half, and he got his second wind, and off he went.
Is he better than you thought he would be when he came to you?
Well, yes, very much. I mean, when you're dealing with kind of when we got the job, it was late, and we just happened to know his high school coach, Durham player, a guy that coached him when he was young, and so he gave me some insight. He was a good player at Pacific, but to be able to do the things that he's done, he's really grown as a player. We hope that he's grown as a person. He obviously got that tech today, which he's disappointed about and we're disappointed about. But this is a learning process where he's really learned this year. He's had to really work academically, and he's really worked on the court. And I think he's really grown as a person and grown as a player.
Okay. Any other questions for Coach?
Sure.
One in the back here. Thanks.
Coach, obviously part of that turnaround is you took control of the paint and securing the glass. Not only gang rebounding, but also being tough on the boards and just taking them down. What were you most prideful about in terms of your team finishing off possessions like that?
Well, they do a really good job of back tipping the ball, and so we made a big emphasis of really going out, making contact and holding your contact, and then attacking the ball. In the game at their place, they did a great job of, we go and hit and go run in, and they were tipping the ball back. And so we really held our box outs and then attacked the loose ones. And, that was great to see them really take something from what we showed them on tape and be able to implement it into the game, especially when it counted the most.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Don't worry, there's only a million of them in the room.
That's a pretty good player there. He didn't finish there. He finished in Fresno.
Okay, we'll start with a statement from Coach Leggins. Then we'll have questions for the student athletes, Austin Rapp and Vukasin Masic. And then once questions are done with the student athletes, we'll dismiss them and have questions for Coach. So go ahead, Coach.
We got a great game by Pepperdine. Stuck with it. They did a good job battling back down 14 in that second half and came back and made some big-time plays. So you got to give them a lot of credit. They did what they're supposed to do to win the game. For my team, we let some plays happen out there that we shouldn't, especially offensive rebounds. But they fought and they battled. It was a fun team to coach all year long. We talked about it with them throughout the season. It was a young team, but they figured some things out towards the end of the year. It's a bad way to go out towards the end of the season. Not the way we'd want to go. I thought we left a lot out there in terms of winning games, but all in all, I didn't think this group reached their potential, and so we got to always hit the drawing board at the end of the year. You never know what's going to happen. So, but a lot of pride in how these guys battled from the beginning of the year towards the end, and a lot of teams could have packed it in at certain times when we started. The WCC, the way we started, but then they stuck with it, and it was right there towards the end to try to maybe get that 6th seed, but we just didn't. It didn't happen. But proud of these guys, proud of how they played, and looking forward to getting some of these guys back and winning next year.
Okay, questions for the student athletes.
Yeah, Vukasin, you guys are up by 14 points with 12 minutes to go. What changed and what allowed Odom to just kind of go off the way he did, you think?
Like Coach said, we got to give him credit. He made some big time shots. He did something that wasn't on scout. He went off, so I got to give him a credit. He's a good player, and they were just shooting the ball well. They punched us inside. We were trying to front the post, and then they just went inside and kind of punished us in that way. And we just kind of went away from our game plan, started turning it over a little bit, and went to their momentum, if you know what I mean. They just started playing fast. We started rushing, playing a little bit rush ball, and it's a lot of positives, but also a lot of negatives in today's game.
Austin, you guys had beat this team by 20 2 times in conference. You're up 14. Seems like natural reaction might be, we got this, we're moving on. Was there any let up at all at some point in the second half that let them get back into it?
I don't think we let down. I just think that they started. I think they got a bit of momentum, hitting a few shots, a few offensive rebounds went their way, and they got kick out for threes, and they hit them. I mean, Odom went 6 for 10 from 3-point line and hit some tough ones. That can change the momentum of a game real quick, and obviously Koulibaly had 6 offensive rebounds. So I think that I don't think we let up. I just think we let down a little bit on our principles, and we let them kind of dictate the game a little bit. And I feel like offensively we got a bit stagnant and didn't stop. We stopped moving the ball a bit, and I don't think we let down. I just think we got punched a bit.
Austin, a big banner year for you, WCC Freshman of the Year, and it's not easy to transition into this level of college basketball, and you pretty much did it seamlessly and were consistent for Coach throughout the year. What do you attribute the preparation, meeting this opportunity, and how do you continue the momentum next year under Coach Leggins?
Obviously, first of all, thanks, Coach. He gave me the opportunity, the green light from the start of the year to try and come in and help this team win some games, and I credit my teammates really like they all believed in me. And I came in late into the summer. I didn't come in because I was finishing off my season back home in Australia, and they bought into what I was here to do straight away, and they believed in me the whole way. And Coach believed in me. The coaches believed in me. They'll push me every day in practice, making me a better player. And I think we're a young group. We've got plenty of young guys coming back, so I think next year is just got to keep ticking, keep getting better over the summer, and I think we'll be a good team, so for sure.
And then a quick follow-up to that. The Rapp family's made their presence known in college basketball. Today you were at your sister's game earlier, and when you look at the contributions that your family's made to college basketball, what do they need to know about Austin Rapp in the years to come?
I think we're just going to keep continuing to produce at a high level and keep playing as hard as I can under the coaching staff. And I think, as you said, my sister had a great 5 years of college basketball, and my brother's still playing at the moment. I think he's actually playing tomorrow. He has his last game. So especially I don't want to leave out my dad, who was a Hall of Famer for UC San Diego. So I also credit them. Like, they pushed me every day, and there was times that they could have counted me out, and I really appreciate that. And then for the years to come, I just think win some games and see where it goes from there. Yeah.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, questions for Coach Leggins?
See you guys. See you.
Shante, have you ever seen anything like what Odom did the last 12 minutes? He had 23 points and assisted on 15 more.
Yeah, last game we played against San Diego. I mean, guy shot the ball really well. I thought we had a good. He hit some tough shots. We try to get him into different ball screen situations, and he did a good job of hitting his threes. He hasn't been shooting the ball like that all season long. He got going, he got rolling, and it was tough to try to slow him down once he did that. And that's always puts us in a tough spot. So we gotta figure out, in those situations how I gotta figure out in those situations how to slow a guy down, especially when he had it going. But I thought we bottled him up pretty good until those 12 minutes, and he got one to fall, and I think he just kept going over and over and over again. So we got to be better there.
Shante, your starters played real heavy minutes tonight, and maybe that's the case a lot of the time. But did you sense any wearing out down the stretch?
No, I thought they had a good. We check in on those guys. I thought those guys did a good job of letting me know when they're tired and different things like that. I thought for our best thing was when we had those guys in. They made a run when I made a couple subs in certain situations, and we didn't get a couple offensive rebounds in certain spots. But no, I didn't think those guys were tired. I didn't think they were down a little bit. They got great rest this week, and I thought the week leading into it, the preparation we had was really good. So I didn't think that had anything to do with it. The kid got hot.
Yeah. So back-to-back 12-win seasons. How do you define where this program is headed from a progress standpoint?
It's tough because 12 wins isn't where you want to be at all. You want to be up there with 20, 22, 23 wins and playing for a championship. And I've been very disappointed in how the season went this year. I know we keep getting some young guys and young talent in here and doing a good job keeping talent. The whole thing this year is bring some young guys in and retain them. And so that's our number one goal, is to keep some of these guys, especially our rotational guys that have played. We've lost some key players in certain in the transfer portal and going to high major schools, and we got to do a better job of especially trying to figure out how to get these guys to stay. And I think we have a good group. I think they want to come back and play together. I mean, you heard Ozzie say, as we keep moving forward with this group, I think we could really turn some heads. The top 4 teams in our league all retained a lot of their guys. If you go through and they added a couple of new players to those things. So it's all about retention, especially at this level where we're at. It's really important that you can retain guys, or you can go in the portal and get a guy and bring a guy in that could change your whole season if you get a really good one. And so sometimes it's you do your homework, you get everything you can, but at the end of the day, you want to retain the guys that are in your program to teach those new guys how to move forward and how to do things, especially rotational guys. And I think we're going to try to do that with everything in our might this year.
Any other questions? Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Go Pilots.